Are you ready to go?
Stop touching stuff.
Anything's possible if you try and be patient. It pays off for your victim that sees you what up.
All right, welcome everyone to Rainbow Council Roundtable for November. I'm one of your hosts. My name is Angelique Minette, and I'm the ECheck District Roundtable Commissioner. And my co-host is?
Hi, I'm Esmeralda Bonk. I am the Wapila-Naswa Roundtable Commissioner.
All right, just so everyone is aware, we are recording. So if you would prefer to not be recorded right now, you are more than welcome to turn off your video and audio. And we're gonna get started with the Scout Oath and Law.
On my honor, I will do my best to do my duty to God and my country, to obey the Scout law, to help other people at all times, to keep myself physically strong, mentally awake, and morally straight. A Scout is trustworthy, loyal, helpful, friendly, courteous, kind, obedient, cheerful, thrifty, brave, clean, and reverent.
All right, and now we will have Stephanie Quigley, who's going to lead us in a prayer.
Thank you. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, great. Please put yourself in the presence of God. Father, thank you for the opportunity to serve others. I pray that you would continue to instill this value into us and our children. Help us to see others the way you see them. Lord, we pray that you show us the needs of those around us. Help us to be others focused and tuned to your spirit so that we can help those who are hurting. Lord, give us the grace to serve when it's hard. Give us the strength to keep going when we are worn out from our own situations. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
Amen. All right, thank you everybody. And we are going to now go straight in to the info minute because we've got some news here that's on our desk. An email went out today at 6 p.m. from Ted Carnes. So if you haven't checked your email yet, you've got something there waiting. As of Monday the 16th, with the new Illinois Department of Health restrictions, Rainbow Council is advising you to halt all in-person scouting meetings and events. The camp will also be closed as of the 16th for at least the next 3 weeks. Let's do our part to help stop the spread of COVID-19 in Rainbow Council.
You've got mail.
Should your unit experience a COVID breakout, please contact Diane Klopfer or Ted Carnes immediately. There is a reporting procedure that we have to follow when that happens. Our next information is there's a virtual family camp coming up on Saturday, November 21st from 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. It's going to be on Zoom and Facebook for all ages, from Cubs, troops, crews, and their families. The theme is Full Steam Ahead, and the cost is $5 per person, which covers a patch for those that want one. The full schedule of events is on Council's website, and registration closes November 14th, so please register now. Popcorn pickup for take orders will be at the Rainbow Council Lockport Service Center tomorrow. Please contact Dan Stromberg with any questions. Scouts age 14 and up, summer camp staff for 2021 is forming now. If you have an interested scout, please contact Bob McMillan. Those of the Catholic faith, our Religious Emblems program received a donation to provide religious emblems books to those in need of assistance for that. Please contact Bill Mamoser for more details. Adult nomination for awards, including the Unit Excellence in Leadership, Unit Rookie of the Year, District Award of Merit and the Silver Beaver Award are due by December 1st. Please check the Facebook page files section for the nomination forms. So those are both district awards and unit awards. Make sure that you're nominating someone from your unit. Fundamentals of Training is Saturday, November 29th. This course is for older youth and adult leaders to learn the BSA training techniques and is valuable at all skill levels. Please register online. This holiday season, support Rainbow Council by shopping through Amazon Smile. When you choose Rainbow Council as your Amazon Smile charity, every regular purchase you make through Amazon has a portion donated back to Council. And as always, if your committee or your unit has something that needs to be publicized, please contact Esmeralda or I to get that info out on social media and in the Info Minute. That has been your Info Minute. If you have any questions, go ahead. We have a lot of people here tonight. Just pop them in the chat box and we'll try our best to answer them as we go. Okay, Esmeralda, it is off to you for the Scout Law Point.
Thank you very much. I'm just looking to where I'm looking. Hold on. I'm in the wrong spot. Here we go. Here I am. So our Scout Law point of the law is a Scout is helpful. From the Scout Handbook, a Scout is helpful. A Scout cares about other people. He willingly volunteers to help others without expecting payment or reward. In order to be helpful, a Scout must be ready, able, and willing to help. In order to help in many ways, a Scout needs actual knowledge, skills, and abilities. Many Scouts might use the excuse of, "I don't know how," when faced with an opportunity to provide aid. He must be trained and confident as his attitude changes to, "I'll give it a try." Without first aid skills, how can he properly manage a serious cut? Without swimming and life-saving skills, how can he rescue a drowning swimmer? How can a Scout prevent panic? How can he direct traffic, extinguish fire, carry in an unconscious person, or any of the dozens of tasks that may be required in an emergency? By participating in Scouting activities, that's how. Advancements through the ranks shows a Scout is participating and building skills. Merit badges give him a reason to learn more skills. Leadership roles allows him to participate, taking control in different situations. To broaden the scope of being helpful, a Scout is also helpful when he supports the leaders of their troop. It is a difficult position to be in when leading a group of peers. By obeying directions and supporting decisions, a Scout helps their senior patrol leader or patrol leader. Being respectful of and caring of those leaders, a Scout strives to help them at all times. So that is a Scout is helpful.
All right. And for our Scout Leader Knot, today we are going to be talking about the James E. West Fellowship. The James E. West Fellowship. Orphaned at age 6 and afflicted with tuberculosis, James E. West never had much of a childhood. West had to fight for permission to attend school outside of his orphanage, and only if he did his extensive orphanage chores before and after school. Nonetheless, he finished high school in 2 years, graduated with honors in 1895, and by 1901 he'd worked his way through law school and was practicing law in Washington, D.C. Given those circumstances, it was not surprising West gravitated towards children's issues. When a young boy stole his car, he declined to press charges, offering instead to represent the boy in court. He got him off on a technicality. This incident led West to lobby successfully for the creation of a juvenile court. He also worked for the Washington Playground Association and the YMCA, and prompted President Theodore Roosevelt to convene a White House conference on dependent children in 1909. Given his background, West became a natural choice to serve as the first Chief Scout Executive. He agreed to take the job up for 6 months and stayed on for 32 years. To become a James E. West Fellow, one needs to give a gift to local council, designated by the donor to the Council Endowment Fund, and qualifies for membership as a James E. West Fellow. The gift must be in addition to and not replace or diminish the donor's annual Friends of Scouting support. A minimum gift of $1,000 in cash or marketable securities qualifies for the bronze level membership. Donors may make cumulative gifts to reach silver, gold, and diamond member levels. For example, 5 years of giving at the bronze level would qualify for silver membership. Many individuals and corporations make these gifts either on behalf of someone else, such as in honor of an Eagle Scout, a Silver Beaver recipient, a retirement or special accomplishment or anniversary, or in member of a special individual. All right. So now, Ez, can you tell us about the Veteran Award?
Many people don't know about this, but this is an actual award that is specifically only for Rainbow Council. It was helped by Colonel George Johnson and Lieutenant Colonel Sarah Deal in creating this program, and requirements for this award gives a scout a chance to learn more about our veterans from the Revolutionary War all the way up to the Iraq. Scouts will explore the history of military service and the various ways we can honor these veterans that are in our community. In the chat, which I will push enter as soon as I can see it again, you will get a copy of what the requirements are specifically. Some people can do it as a unit, or some people can do it individually. And then once the requirements are done, you turn in all your paperwork to council and they will pass it on to where it needs to go. And then next, because I think I'm still next.
Yes, you are.
Is the safety,
Safety minute.
Thank you, safety minute. Sorry. Is it scouting? I know how many of you have been stuck trying to come up with fun and exciting activities for scouting, either for Cub Scouts or Scouts BSA, and many of us have been in that position. And how many of yourselves ask, is this appropriate for the age group that you're taking this fun activity on? In many instances, last question does not even get thought of. So one of the things we want to make sure we bring to your attention is this nice little guide that is shown right here. This is only the front page. And on this page, you can see that goes from Lions all the way up to Venture Crew and older, and all the various skills that those scouts at that age can do. And it even breaks down the Webelos and Scouts BSA by age once you start getting older in this last two columns. So this is something that we need to make sure that we are following, because this is what is part of Guide to Safe Scouting. So this will be available on our Facebook page under the documents, so you may pull it up and use it every time you have a PLC or you're having a committee meeting to try to come up with some activities.
Okay, thank you very much. Now we have a general topic today of service hour reporting, and Ryan Berry is going to share with us about service hour reporting. You gotta unmute yourself, Brian. There you go.
All right. All right, service hour reporting. With the Scouting for Food stuff coming up, it's a pretty easy way to do this, but it has changed. So what is it? Why do we do it? For those of you who don't know, goes towards your Journey to Excellence scorecards, helps Scouts advance, tracks number of hours performed when doing Eagle Scout projects, and it actually helps out Council National with some marketing information as well. So why do we do it? Well, what's the Scout slogan? And it's, a way to help promote scouting in the community is one of the bigger aspects of it. So what we did now is they have a Scout book integration. So if anyone would want to follow along, or we can have this, I can send you this presentation, my email will be at the end, but we're doing a Scout book integration. So what you would do is end up logging into your Scout book account. If you have multiple accounts like some of us do, you would want to select the unit that you're working with. Go to quick entry, which is right, it's going to be on in the bottom area there. It'll look just like this. These are screenshots there, and then enter activity logs. So we're going to go right in here to click this here. Then what that's going to do is it's going to send you over to the internet advancement. So then what you want to do is you're going to select activities on the left-hand side or on the right-hand side. And then you're going to see this little blue circle in the upper left-hand or upper right-hand corner then. Then you're going to select service hours. You can also do this for camping and hikes as well, but we're working on the service hours now. Then you're going to want to create a new activity. And then from there, you can add in all of the information. I had to switch it to make it fit, but you would put the project name, the date, location, address information, category, category, what it is, what it's for, who it's for, a number of registers. And what the nice part about here is this add person. Anybody on your unit roster, you click on that add person, and you can directly add that individual person in there, and it will upload to their individual stuff on Scoutbook as well. Once you get all that information done, just click submit at the bottom, and right down here, record and finish. And then you'll see it on the month that you're looking at or where you entered it in at, and that's it. Anybody have any questions, let me know in the chat. Otherwise, here's my contact information if you want to take it down. Leave it up for a minute or so. And
we'll also make this slideshow available on the Roundtable page.
Yeah. So it's a pretty easy process. I have some easier instructions too if you need those as well, but feel free to shoot me an email and I will get that to you. And that's it. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much, Ryan. All right, now we're going to talk about what you are all probably here for, is Recharter. We do have some changes to Recharter this year, and we want to go over them with you so that you know what's going on. First of all, you probably, hopefully, have all seen the post with the link to request your unit number, and that's your Recharter number. And so you need one person designated, and anyone from your Key 3 can designate that person to run the Recharter. Once you submit that, you'll get an email back with the number that you need. And then after you have that, we can go right into internet rechartering. Okay, so I'm going to present you with a cheat sheet that has, at the very end, that has all of the most important parts that we talk about tonight in it. National has made this PowerPoint presentation to go over the basics. The first thing is you'll go to the page, and I do have a link for you where you start the rechartering. And the most important thing that you want to notice is you are going to hit register first time user this year. It doesn't matter if you did Recharter last year. You are every single one of you who are running Recharter are doing register for the first time user this year. This login over here, that is if you leave your Recharter in the middle of it and need to come back to it on a different day. Do not click this and enter in whatever email you put in last year. You want to click on this one. Okay. It will give you a list of all of these different things that you can look to answer questions about problems that you're having or anything that you need help with. This is where you want to go to the fact page. But once you click on the register button, you're going to enter your access code, and that's what's going to come to you in an email after you submit. And then you pick your unit type and you put your unit number in. The important thing to know is that your unit number is 4 numbers long. So if your unit number is 321, you're going to put in 0321. Because if you put in just 321, it isn't going to work. So same thing, say your number is 469, you're going to put 0469 in. Also note that Counsel can see who is running the renewal, so make sure you're have one person doing it, not putting 2 into the system at the same time. Agree to the confidentiality statement. This is where you'll put in the information for the person who's running the Recharter. Different units have different people running it. This is how they keep track of who's doing it. It will ask you to enter your information in twice. It does this on purpose so that it makes sure it has the right information. Here is the page that's going to show you where you're at in the process. At any time, you can stop and log out and come back to it. So if you get interrupted because you have kids running around or you can't do it all in one sitting, it's okay. You can go back to it and see where you are. Here is where you load your roster. I think most of you are probably going to want to load council information. You can upload your Recharter file from something like Packmaster, Troopmaster, or TroopSoft, but really, I would go with load council information because that's what council has, that's what you want to have to go off of. In this stage, you will have the opportunity to update information on your roster. So if you've had people that have left or address changes, this is this part where you're going to do that. Again, at any time if you wish to stop, you select this gear up here on the right and log out. All your changes have saved and they'll be back when you log back in. Okay, here is your charter information. If your charter address is changed or any charter information is changed, you're going to change that right here. At any time, you can review or print a review roster. This is a where you're at. You can print a physical copy of it to see where you're at. It is not the finished one, so it won't have all the information you need for submitting to council. But if you need to print it and take it to someone to verify that, hey, these are the people, right, that we're rechartering, that's where you can print a physical copy of it. After you change your charter information, you hit next step. Here is where you can select and deselect members for renewal. So if you have someone who's not continuing with your unit, you can unclick them right here. You can also, if you have processed a new application, say from the time you logged in and you started, and then you sent D a new application for either a scout or for an adult, you can hit this button to update the unit roster, and that new scout should show up in your roster, or the new adult should show up in your roster as soon as you hit that. Which leads me to, if you are holding on to brand new applications right now, if you have applications on your person for a scout or an adult, get those to D before you start. Get those to D and give her a few days to get them in the system before you start. Because if you are trying to process new people at the same time you are doing this, it can get hairy. And trust me, you're going to want to get those to her, give her a couple days to get them in the system and get the confirmation back to you and have them show up on your roster rather than trying to add them during Recharter. All right. Here is where you can select members for renewal. It'll show you the, it'll show you what they've got. If you need to make changes, you can. This is what the draft will look like of the preview print roster. So again, like if you need to take it to your committee and show them what your progress is so far, you can show them the paper. Promoting members. So if you have a pack and a troop, or a troop and a crew, and you are all in the same chartering organization, through this step of promoting members, you can move an adult or a child from one unit to the other as long as they have the same chartering organization. If you're promoting a member from, say, Cub Scouts over to the troop at this time, and they're from a different unit that is not part of your chartering organization, you will need to talk to them to get their access code in order to move them over in the system. However, if you process your applications ahead of time, say you're transferring a Cub Scout over to a troop, and you process that application, that paper application, you send it to D before you start, you don't have to mess with this step. So if you are transferring a scout from another unit or an adult from another unit that is not part of your chartering organization, do it ahead of time with the paper rather than through here. But if you need to through here, this is where you'll do it. And these are the steps. I'm not going to go through all of them because hopefully none of you will need them. Same with this. This is adding a new member. If you are adding a new person to your, excuse me, To your adults or to your scouts, this is the step where you would do it. However, hopefully you'll have done it ahead of time before you've started your recharter. And you go through all the steps, you can add a new member. Side note, if you choose to add a new member during this step and they're brand new to scouting, you will still need to fill out the paper form, the criminal background check, and the YPT certificate, and turn them all in after you finish your recharter. So if you do choose to do this at this time, you have to still submit all those things. So it's better for you to do it ahead of time and not have to worry about it during your recharter. Okay, you're adding your new member, This is where you could add a youth. Again, don't add a youth now, add them ahead of time. Also, the other thing to understand, if you're adding a new adult or a new youth, if they already are members of the BSA and are with a different troop, or a different unit, this is not where you add them. They already have a BSA number. They need to be added in a regular application to D so that you're not creating two people in the system. Okay, this is update of member data. This is the part where you can update information on your members. So you can update their new YPT certificate. Say someone's was expired and then they give you a new certificate, they send you a new certificate. You can, at this point, enter in their new YPT date. If you have to do this during your recharter, please understand you still need to submit their new YPT certificate along with your recharter. This is also the chance you have to update birthdays, addresses, and any other information that needs to be updated on your people. Okay, this is where you get to check to make sure that you have the minimum adult unit positions for your unit type. So you have to have an executive officer, a charter organization rep, committee chair, and 2 committee members. It's where it double checks that. At this point, when you get this far, it's going to check what you've done against the roster, and it's going to validate all of the BSA unit requirements. It may come up with an error. If it does, don't panic. It's usually something that you can go back and find and fix. So an error message will look like this. It says some of the unit information you have entered contains one or more errors. An error is caused by information that falls outside BSA's rules for membership. Please investigate the source of these errors. You cannot complete the charter renewal process until these errors are resolved. So a common one will be you do not have youth protection training or it's not current. At that point, you will need to stop what you're doing, go track down the culprit of the not having YPT up to date, get their certificate, enter in their new certificate date, and then you can continue. This part, they're explaining how you can make changes to correct the error. It may be that you have no Scoutmaster assigned. Maybe you move people around. So you can correct it at this point. This is updating member information. Perhaps they didn't have all the information they needed. Once everything has been fixed, if you have come up with errors, and you will get a message, congratulations, this validation was completed without errors. Please click the next stage button to continue. All right. You will get a summary page, and you can now review your final roster and fees. This is where now you will print your review, and you can look and see what your fees are for your unit. And I'm gonna click, I feel like I click it. Okay, you will get a chance here to do Boys Life. This is where you can click on or off for people that are receiving it. This is also where you can enter multiple registrations. A multiple registration is when an adult or youth holds a position in 2 different units. So for example, say you are a Scoutmaster in one unit and a Den Leader in another unit. You only pay a fee for one time for BSA. So it doesn't matter which unit you pay to, but you have to pick one of the units that you're going to pay. And that's called a multiple registration. So at this point, you need to know who in your unit is multiple registering and what unit they are paying with. Because when you enter them as a multiple registration, it will want to know, are you paying with this unit or are you paying with another unit? And then if you're paying with another unit, what unit is that? So that's where it can get a little bit complicated. So have a list of that before you start. Once you click that you are having someone pay with a different unit, it will remove that. I'm sorry, could everybody make sure that they have their sound off? Thanks. Want to make sure that you know, once you have your multiple register, you will not be charged for that person if they're registering with another unit. Okay. You'll get a confirmation if you choose to have all of the scouts in your unit sign up for Boys Life. This is where you confirm that everyone signed up. This is very, very important. So if you have tuned out, now is where you want to tune in. We are going with a 100% online recharter this time. So we would like to minimize the amount of contact you're having between each other and with counsel. We do not want everyone to have to come to counsel and turn papers in, and we don't want you to have to chase down people to get signatures. At this point, you are going to approve your roster electronically by clicking we agree. All right, that's a signature that is approving your recharter. So if you are not the executive officer and you are processing the recharter, you need to go make sure that your executive officer is okay with your recharter. You're going to want to show them the printout of your fees and your people and say, does this look okay? Do I have your approval? Do it all online and then click here, we agree, and you are signing electronically. This means you do not have to turn in a sheet of paper with actual everybody's written signatures on it. Also, your charter fee is going to be paid at the time of the unit renewal. And the council fees. So our council adds $3 onto every person. So adults and kids, it's $3 fee. Some councils add on like $150. Our council adds on $3. That is paid all at the same time with everything else that you're taking care of, with your national fee, with your charter fee, and the council fee. It's all included right here. At this point, this is the other very important, please tune in closely point. This year, there is no pay direct to council. You are not going to be paying to council. You need to pay online either by ECheck or by credit card. If you choose to pay by credit card, there is a 3% service fee. So I would highly suggest you do an ECheck, which if you haven't done that before, you take a check and you enter in the routing information and the check number, and there's no fee associated with that. You will not be paying to council. You will not be paying to D. You'll be taking care of it right here, right now through your recharter system. So there's a slide here on payment by credit card. It will give you a payment successful and you can print a receipt. The same thing happens when you pay by ECheck. It will give you a receipt so you can do your bookkeeping. So if you're using your troops or PAX account, you have a paper trail for it. If you have to be reimbursed for it, also you'll have a paper trail. There is if you select pay to direct to council, but we are not doing that this year, so do not choose that one. Here's the ECheck information. It's pretty standard. If you've ordered anything on internet, it's pretty much the same thing. You complete and you get your receipt. All right, after you've done that step, you have a button here to click, and it says, check if you wish to request or authorize to counsel. You do not want to click this, this button. This is if you're going to pay directly to counsel. You are not paying directly to counsel, so do not click that button. When you are done, you want to click this blue submit to counsel. This is everything. You're submitting your whole roster, you're submitting all your updates, everything. You're submitting your electronic signature when you click on this. It's going to give you a second chance. Are you sure? Because once you click this, you can't go back. At any point up to this point, you can go back and change things and fix things. Once you click this, it's done, and it's going to be really hard to change. So when you are sure, you're sure that you're done, then you can click it. Here's a little survey. If you had trouble with something, or if something wasn't clear, this is where you can let BSA know. All right, now it's going to give you a print charter renewal application. There's a list of things here, and we're going to go through each one because I don't want you to get confused when you're doing it. As requested by your counsel, print the summary renewal report easy or the unit charter renewal report package, but not both. Just pick the easy one. Please follow the instructions of your counsel in regard to which renewal application format is requested. You may save these PDF files for references. So what you're going to do is you're going to click on the blue button right here, print renewal application, and you are going to either print it and then scan it back into your computer, or you're going to print it to a PDF. Either way, you need to have it as an electronic format. And after you have that, you are going to send it along with any other papers by email. And I will show you the email in a few minutes. Unless online approval was done, obtain the appropriate signatures. So number 2, you do not have to do that. Number 2, you were doing an online approval. So you do not have signatures that you need to collect. Attach the signed new member application and the certificate of youth protection training completion as appropriate. So if at this point, if you had any new applications or you had a YPT certificate that needed to be updated, you are going to want to scan it or scan it in or save it as a PDF and attach it along in that same email with your renewal application. Follow the instructions of your counsel in regards to payment of fees. So at this point, you should have already paid. You have paid by ECheck, hopefully, and you're not submitting any checks to counsel. And then deliver the summary renewal report easy or all the pages and any other requested forms, and make payment of fees to your counsel. So number 5 is you're going to send your print renewal application. You're going to send it to the email addresses that I am going to show you in one moment. The form that you print is going to look like this. It will have your total amount, how many youth, how many adults are all signed in. It'll have your approval date, everything you need to know. That's what it'll look like. All right. At this point, I want to show you, we have not the James West thing. This is the quick reference sheet. This goes over all the things that we talked about that are very specific to our counsel. The emails that you will be sending everything to are our registrar, Dee Hainsinger. Right here is her email. And then depending on your district, you need to send either to Dan Stromberg and Ryan Berry, or Wapi-Lenasawa will go to Jarvis, Franklin, and Chris Pride, along with Dee. So to recap, you're sending all completely new applications to Dee to process before you start rechartering, because that will make everybody's life a lot easier, yours and hers. And there are less chances for duplicating people in the system. Here's a link right here for the slideshow that I just showed you. So if you're having trouble and you need to look, or you're feeling unsure, you can go back to look at the slideshow. Here's the link to the online rechartering site itself. So this is the site that you actually will go to process your recharter. Remember, you're registering as a first-time user. Remember, you'll need your unit code, and if you haven't received it yet, Click on this and you can request it there. Remember that your unit is 4 digits long and you might need to add a leading 0. If you have new applications or other papers, email them to counsel along with your form. If an adult or youth is registered with more than 1 unit, it's called a multiple registration and they pay fees only once. Find out which unit they're paying fees for and you'll need that to finish your recharter. Make sure you approve your charter online. Pay by ECheck. Do not select Pay Direct to Counsel. Here is a link to the Journey to Excellence scorecard. After you complete your rechartering, you'll need to fill out your Journey to Excellence scorecard. You will also want to save this as a PDF or print it and scan it back in and send it along with your recharter report. So print to PDF and scan your renewal application report along with any additional papers and your JTE scorecard and email them to the registrar, D, your district executive, and your district commissioner. Or you can also email to your unit commissioner, that's your choice. If you get stuck, reach out to your commissioner team. That's what we're here to help you with. We have access to the information to help you figure that out. Also start now. Please do not wait and start it at the 11th hour. You may discover you have a big problem with an adult leader's YPT that's not showing up, or there might be someone who's just not showing up on your roster. Find that out now. Sign in, log in now. Even if you don't finish it, get it started now so you can see if you have any problems. All recharters should be completed by the end of December. There are no exceptions. They need to be done. There's no excuse. You've got a month and a half now to do it. I did mine and I think it took me less than 20 minutes once I got started. So make sure you're putting that all together and have the sheets and have the information with you when you get started. I will make all of this information available on the Roundtable page if you need it. And right now, if you have any questions or if we have any that are coming up in the chats, Ez, you want to go ahead and handle some of those? Because I haven't had a chance. I'll read through them.
We've been answering a few things. So the checklist that you were showing, if you can throw a link onto the chat, it will also be available on with the documents on the Roundtable Facebook page, so you can access it there as well. As for applications, if you have paper ones, if you want to email them to D, I would double check with D to make sure that's okay.
Yes, it is.
Okay, so I just could never remember if it is or not. So yes, if you can scan it and send it. The one thing that you want to make sure is that all the information is you can read, because sometimes how your scanner works might not get all that information. Online is best. It works really well for new members. If it's an application for position change, you're better off going paper and scanning and sending it to D. As far as something about email did not include which documents. Travis, you want to open up your microphone and just clarify a little bit?
Yeah, the little check sheet that she just went through, I didn't get that.
No, that check sheet, the email that you will get just has your unit code that you need.
I'm asking if you guys can email that check sheet out.
The one that I showed?
The person doing the recharter.
I don't have I can try. I will have to talk to the person who sent that out. I am going to make it all available on the Facebook page, and I can also make it available on Rainbow Counsel's website if you give me a couple days, because I have to submit it. I might be able to email it out. I got to work on that. Let me work on it.
Few questions. Last year we had to have the chartered rep organization and then the pastor of the church who, like pastor of our church, that is our chartered organization, fill out some paperwork. Our church actually has been closed since the beginning of the pandemic. So I didn't see anything in there in the steps, so maybe I missed it, but do we need to have our chartered rep org and the person who kind of heads the chartered organization do any paperwork?
Yes, if you can, that would be great, because
Okay.
we have to take that all at once. To what you can do is you can send a paper, an email to
With
the
scan
different
it,
people,
yeah.
scan it, have them sign it, scan it back, and just paper staple all three, or scan all three sheets and send it to D as well. As long as we have all three signatures, that would be best. And that
Sure.
was actually answered, but it gets lost with the chatter.
Okay. And then we typically use the registration. We're gonna collect the fees from the families just through mail and possibly PayPal. But when we do collect the fees, we use it as an opportunity to get updated healthcare A and B forms. I'm not, obviously we're not going to be able to meet in person for the foreseeable future based off of the latest email. I'm assuming we can kind of stay. Oh, I'm sorry. It was already mentioned. Obviously, I spaced out. Forgive me.
Okay.
All right, no problem. All right.
Thank you.
All right.
I have a question, and I don't think it's been answered because it's a weird situation. We have a boy in our troop that has been approved to be in over the age of 18, and every year I have problems with charter because it will not accept him as a youth. How do I, every year I go through like all kinds of gyrations to try to get this to work. Any advice?
So he's over 18, but still wants to be involved?
Yeah, he has all the paperwork done. It's all been done by council, and National blessed it and everything. But the Recharter electronic stuff doesn't like that he's over 18.
You should have him under the Scouters Reserve. I think there was at one point a position.
No, he's registered as a youth.
He's registered. Okay, you know what, Laura? We'll talk to council.
Okay.
And if we can get you some information that'll help with that.
Yeah, just so I'd like to maybe figure it out first rather than having to try to fix it at the back end.
Sure.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. The deadline is the drop deadline is, yes, December 31st, but it needs to get in before then. Do not wait till December 31st to get it all in and to get it processed. So she needs to receive that email before the 31st. It is the 31st, but get it to her as soon as possible. And remember to copy your district commissioner and district executive at the same time. And Laura, Diane Klopfer has your answer on your youth. So she will contact you privately to take care of that. Any other questions? Okay.
I had a question back at the beginning when we were talking about the new restrictions. There was a question in the chat about scouting for food, and I have the same question. If we do zero contact, drop off the bag as a family, and zero contact, drop off the bag at a central location, can we do scouting for food after Monday?
Hey, Diane.
Hey, Diane.
Okay.
Are you going to pull my charter if I do that?
No. I mean, if you're doing it as a family, not a scout event, you're fine.
Okay.
If you're doing it as a scouting event, because of this here's the whole thing. If you don't commingle, if no one touches anyone, if you're in a separate car, that's going to be your own jurisdiction. But if you're meeting anybody outside your family unit, no.
Okay.
But I can't tell you what to do.
Okay.
I can only strongly suggest that maybe you might want to reconsider this. We're almost at 20% positivity here in our lovely Rainbow Council. So we're trying to do everything we can to stop that. We've had about 20% of our units affected by COVID-19, having to shut down. Somebody's sick, somebody got it from somebody else and didn't know. And it's we're just trying to keep everybody safe. I know it sucks. I know it sucks so hard. But if you're doing that and you're not touching anyone or doing anything and you're deciding not to do it as a scouting unit and you're doing it as a family, that's on you. But I got to say the official line from council is scouting stuff, no in-person stuff starting Monday. We're trying to get everybody to get a couple days to get your unit notified and stuff like that. That's the only reason we went with Monday.
Okay, thank you.
Someone had asked about charter agreement. It was usually in the charter packet. I thought you should be able to print it at the end of the registration before. I'm not sure if you still can.
There are documents that print at the end.
And I thought one of them was
I think one of them is the charter agreement. We also had a question about a scout on extension, Diane. So if a scout is on an extension and is over the age of 18 for processing.
Try UP for unit participant. UP for unit participant.
UP.
It worked last year. It should work this year, but I don't know. 2020's been kind of weird.
We my son's PAC did a wreath fundraiser with Sherwood, and we should be receiving the wreaths for the scouts to deliver. We also had a shipping option about a week after Thanksgiving. They'll be shipped to one parent's house. What would be the appropriate way to distribute that to the parents? Would it be acceptable to just drop them off at the family's houses, or have each individual family come in at allotted time to pick up their wreaths?
I'm going to just say it's going to be best if you can have somebody drop them off outside the house of the families.
Okay.
That way there's no contact and you only have one person handling that.
That's fine.
You don't have 20 families coming to your house. You're just driving by and nobody's touching each other or near each other. I'm sorry.
Okay. No, that's okay. I'll
Great. These are good questions. Does anybody have anything else that they need an answer to?
I don't know if this was answered, but it was in the chat. When is the deadline for Recharter to get it to Dee?
Okay, no matter when you put it in, Dee's not going to be able to send it through until the end of December. So if we could try to have it all done by Christmas, that way you can enjoy some more time with your family. That would be great. The sooner the better. If nothing's changing, just go ahead and submit it.
All right, thank you very much.
Mike Benitis had a question.
Yes, for the fees, you said that council charges $3. Is that included? Is that $3 already been included in when it came out 2020 BSA national membership fees when that was sent to us?
So
Okay.
it's $66 for a youth, and then council adds $3 on. It's $43 for an adult and then there's $3 added onto that. When you go through the Recharter, it all does it automatically. You don't have to figure it out for each scout. It adds it in.
Okay, I think where I missed it is, we've done our budget and we've collected money from people and we didn't know we had to add on another $3.
Yeah, it's there's last year I think it was also $3.
Yeah, it just started happening last year.
Yeah.
And we had budgeted too, and then National raised everybody's fees too. So I can't apologize enough for that. But the fees, those fees do not include Boys Life, Brian. Boys Life, as you know, is a separate fee. The $3, Sean, is for the fee that Rainbow Council can charge back for the insurance of all things Rainbow Council.
Yeah, and the Boys Life is $12 additional. So if your scouts want that, that's an additional $12.
Thank you.
Thanks. Anything else?
For the good of the order.
Going once.
Go
ahead.
I would like to add something that doesn't really have to do with Recharter, but it does with OA.
Okay.
We're doing our Recharter as well. We will be sending out unit lists to all the units, to either the unit leader in the troops and crews or the committee chair on record. If in your unit that person may not be the person you want to receive that list, or you want someone else to, please send me an email, admin@oa197.org, and I will also copy you onto that email to get to your list of your people in your unit that are in the OA in Wapakan Lodge.
You have a question, Mark. Will members get an ID card?
That system has not been set up yet. There is something coming in soon for a member portal to get your ID card online, sort of like ScoutNet does now. you know, but that's coming soon. I don't have the capability to email them out. If you're at an event, I can print them out, and I have a printer. I can print them out there and give them to you.
Okay. And then Mark, could you type that email into the chat box for everybody, please?
Yes, and the dues is $15 per person. We're encouraging units to collect that from the people in separate unit check to council, and then email me the list if you can. Let me get the chat. I'm on an iPad.
All right, while he's typing that, thank you, Mark. Did anybody else have any other questions? Going once? Going twice? All right, thank you all so much for coming to Roundtable tonight. I hope we answered your questions. I'll be posting all the information from this shortly onto the Facebook page, and this will also be turned into a video that will be shared on our YouTube page, should you need to share it with anybody else. Thank you all. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out. We're happy to help you.
You can edit out my faux pas earlier, right?
Sure, yeah, we can do that.
All right, thank you.